Next, Chef Johnson will prepare cocoa brownies, a variation on the standard brownie recipe. The recipe yields 1 half-sheet pan. Ingredients are 1 1/2 cups cocoa, 1 1/4 cups all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 3 cups granulated sugar, 6 eggs, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, and 12 ounces melted butter.
Hi, today what we're making is a cocoa brownie, and we're making a half-sheet pan of them. And the first thing that we want to do is explain what the ingredients are that we're putting in today. The first thing is eggs, whole eggs, vanilla, sugar, melted butter. And when you melt the butter, you want it to be room temperature when you add it to your ingredients. Cocoa. The cocoa that you use for this should be a nice dark red-brown cocoa, not a light beigey color cocoa. Light beige cocoa usually has sugar added, and we don't want that. All-purpose flour and some salt. So the very first thing we do is prepare our sheet pan and turn the oven on to 350 degrees. Prepare the sheet pan by just spraying it with a little bit of piece of parchment paper and some pan coating. Usually what I do is I just spray the edges of it, not so much the middle, because these are very buttery. They'll come right up off of the parchment paper. So we're going to sift all the dry ingredients together. This is sort of a light brownie. It doesn't have a lot of stuff in it. Actually, it has very little in it. It just has the cocoa and the sugar and the eggs and the vanilla. Some brownies have walnuts in it. Some have chocolate chips. Just depends on what you like. This one is delicious. I'm going to sift it. I'm going to The next thing we'll do, we'll set that aside. The next thing we'll do is we'll put our eggs into a mixing bowl, and using a paddle, not a whisk, because we want a little bit of air in these brownies, but we don't want a lot. We're going to add the vanilla at this time, and then we're going to start mixing, and then slowly incorporating the sugar into the eggs and vanilla. At this point, the process will take probably about 10 minutes. So it's been about 10 minutes, and this is what we get. A nice airy mixture of eggs and sugar and a little bit of vanilla. So at this point, put it on low, and we want to use our butter that is somewhat cool. Because the reason for the coolness is we don't want to deflate the eggs and the sugar. And the very last thing that we put in will be the cocoa the salt, and the APF, the all-purpose flour. Now we'll put it into the prepared pan. I'm going to mix it a little bit to make sure that everything is up from the bottom before I put it in the pan. And then take an offset and spread it out. These brownies only take about 10 minutes to cook. Give it a little shake, and we'll be back with you shortly. It's been about 10 minutes, and I believe the brownies are done. Oops. I just stuck my hand in it, but that happens. Now, how you can tell when a true brownie is done is it pulls away from the sides, you notice, and the inside isn't quite baked all the way. See the impression that when I push my finger down on the brownie? Any more than this, they're overbaked and they're no good. Okay, the brownies have been out of the oven for about an hour, and they've cooled down tremendously, so we're going to glaze them with a little bit of silky ganache that was made earlier. The first thing that you want to learn how to do is to take the brownies out of the pan, and you go around them with an offset. Be careful not to break the edges, if you can. And because you have a piece of parchment paper on the bottom, you should be able to just pull these right up. So the next thing you want to do is take a piece of parchment paper and put it on the top. Take a sheet pan, put that over, hit it a couple of times. And voila. This is the side that you're going to ganache. So what we're going to do is we're going to slip this onto this pan. Move this over here. You always ganache the bottom side of the brownie because it's the flatter, it's the better side. So what we'll do is we'll take some of the ganache that I have sitting over here over a bain-marie of warm water to keep it nice and warm. Four good ladles. And another thing that I do is always remember to put a piece of parchment paper underneath. Because what you can do after you've ganached your brownie, you can save that ganache, strain it out, and use it again for other brownies. So you don't have to keep, it's wasteful to throw it out. And that's it. Shake it a little bit, get the bubbles out of it, and there you have it. Ganached brownies.